So I'm moving abroad for my studies in just few weeks, or you could even say that in just few very countable days. And I wouldn't lie when I'm saying that I am more scared than excited about it, because I would be moving to a completely new country, and it means it is a very new fresh start for me. Well, I really wanted to make this video because I wanted to store it as a part of my memory, and also because I thought that somewhere out there maybe someone would relate to my struggles and also find my video kind of informative if they are really going through it. Well, this isn't a guide or anything fancy. It is just me sharing what it's been like for me. So it might sound like a little ranting session of mine, but as I mentioned earlier, you might find something which is informative for you. Studying abroad is a dream, but I do not think that it would take so much from me. Well, it was not that much, but I felt that each and every struggle that I did while processing for studying abroad, it really did count, and it made a huge difference on my life. It was much more than what I had thought, and I really did not think that the process would be so overwhelming. Of course, I did think that there were struggles, but I did not think that it would be so much, and in between there were these very tiny struggles that should not really count much, but it did, and it was something that no one really talked about, and experiencing it in first time was kind of exhausting and overwhelming. But I'm glad that I could make it through and make a huge difference. So the very first hurdle for me was money. Well, of course, there were many other small struggles in between as well, like shortlisting of the universities and deciding on a country. But something that really stuck to me till the end, like till I hadn't gotten my visa, was managing the funds. It was not exactly money, but it was managing the funds, I would say. Like when I first started looking for the universities in UK, I had shortlisted very few universities that really matched my budget at that time, and it was around January 2025. I had shortlisted the universities and I was applying for it. Okay, so at that point the GBP rate, that is the pound rate, was around 105, and it was really foolish of me. I would not say exactly foolish, but it did not really cross my mind that the GBP rate would increase so much in the latter half. Like right now it is going around 118, and even a small increase or decrease on the rate would really cause a huge significant difference. And while I was applying, I'd already gotten my application, and after that I even got a unconditional offer letter. And one thing that I needed to remind myself again and again was to go check the rates, on a regular basis. While I was paying my deposit, it was on a different rate. After I paid my deposit, there were other very small funds that I had to pay for, and it had really different rates. It was fluctuating a lot. And after that, it came to a point where it had increased a lot, and somehow managing the funds became very difficult. So I had to look up for a loan. Even though my parents were supporting me, I felt kind of guilty putting this kind of pressure on them, because it was not really on the plan at first. I kept asking myself in between, is it worth it? But at the same time, I knew that if I didn't do it now, I would regret it forever. So yeah, money was a huge stress factor, but at the end, everything worked out. I just had to really go hard with it, really. And after that, what came was the paperwork. The number of documents that I had to gather from the bank statements to balance certificates, visa papers. And every time I thought like I was done, like literally something new or other popped up. And I also remember like refreshing my email maybe 20 times a day, just waiting for the approvals. It felt really endless. And while all this stuff was happening, I was also dealing with the emotional side. It was like all the emotions were coming together at one point. I was anxious, I was nervous, I was sad, I was guilty, I was panicking. And there was excitement. Well, while I was applying, I was mentally preparing myself to leave home because leaving home, it is not easy. While there was excitement, as I said, there was guilt and fear. Guilt because I knew like my parents were sacrificing so much for me, and fear because I was moving to a completely new country, which meant for me like starting from zero. And some days I was so anxious that I couldn't even sleep properly. So between the emotional stress and all of the stresses, well, I felt like one of the hardest parts was also waiting for the loan approval, waiting for the visa, waiting for that one email that decides your literally entire future. It's like, you're stuck in between stage where you can't move forward, but you can't go back either. Like that feeling, it really got me sometimes. I was so confused, and it just made me emotional overall. But well, looking back now, I realized that these struggles were actually a part of my journey. Every step, and no matter how stressful it was shaping me for what's ahead. So if you're watching this and going through the same process, I just wanted to make you know that it is okay to feel stressed, guilty, or scared. Like it's all a part of it. And one day when like everything is over, you'll be packing your bags and realizing you actually made it through, like I am feeling right now. So yeah, that's my little rant. And also, if you're really here and like you stuck till the end, thank you so much for listening, and hopefully my future self watches this one day and remembers how far we've come and be proud of it.